WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News Now.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all so much for, I guess I'll say, continuing this marvelous Monday morning with us here on 2 News Now on this beautiful Monday. I am Alexis Bellamy. Today is November 24th, and I'm joined by 2 News anchor Kayla Ferris. Kayla, good morning. Happy Monday. All of the greetings.
Good morning to you and happy Monday. I'm ready for this motivational Monday.
Motivational Monday. I said marvelous Monday, and it's a motivational Monday. Two things can be true at the same time, can't they? They can. We have so much news and plenty of weather to get to, as always. But first, we are kicking things off with your top stories for this morning, and we are starting off with a bit of an update for you. We know now that student athletes here in Ohio will be able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness. The member schools of the Ohio High School Athletic Association voted in an emergency referendum to change state rules, and that decision came down just under an hour ago. This is a really big deal here. So there is a lot of change that will be coming surrounding this new decision, and we will have a breakdown of it. We're going to sit down with 2 News reporter Evan Bales in just a little bit, and he's going to break down essentially what this means for student athletes here in Ohio, Kayla.
Yeah, it's very exciting, depending on what side you're on, but I think it's a big change. Times are changing, as they say. So we are very sports heavy with our top 5 this morning. Moving, and this is the perfect read for me. With the longest win streak in the nation, Ohio State has once again secured the #1 spot in college football. Fresh off a 42-9 win over Rutgers, Ohio State is gearing up for its final regular season game on Saturday against you-know-who. I'm not even going to dignify that.
There you go.
With the rivalry is such a big attraction, Alexis.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know, but it's huge.
I'm learning more every day.
And you will see how much based off of these ticket prices. So right now, the cheapest ways to get into the game are $316 on StubHub. That's the cheapest.
That's the cheapest? Okay, so I'm like up there.
Yeah, like this is the rivalry of all college football rivalries. Now, on SeatGeek, it's about the same price at $318, and Ticketmaster has $325 ticket. So if you're interested, you're going to need to fork up some money.
Now, I'm not, but I'm sure someone out there is. So that's good information. Thank you, Kayla. Okay, we are sports heavy, and I'm so sorry to have to do this. Kayla thought that was the perfect read for her. I'm sorry about this, you guys, but the Bengals lost to the Patriots, 26-20. It happened last night at Paycor Stadium. Now, the loss made the Patriots the first NFL team actually to reach 10 wins after they held on for that 26-20 victory with the Bengals. Now, the loss marked the Bengals' 4th consecutive defeat and their 8th in 9 games. So that's the update for you guys. I'll keep it short and sweet. So sorry about the Bengals, but they had that nice point lead but couldn't hold on, and then the Patriots rally to extend that winning streak to 9 games. I'm sorry, you guys.
Sorry to the Bengals fans out here.
Sorry to these men.
Now, Alexis, let me ask you a question. Do you carry around cash still?
I try.
Okay, good. So this next bill will come in handy for you. Ohio lawmakers are weighing legislation that would require businesses and government offices to accept cash for most in-person transactions. House Bill 554 would mandate that any business or government agency provide at least one point of sale location that accepts cash for purchases, debts, or transactions $500 or less. So this is called the Cash Act, and it comes after an Ohio lawmaker said there were concerns from some people who were turned away when attempting to pay with cash. So we're not a cashless society yet.
Not yet.
At least not here in Ohio.
Well, in your 5th top story this morning, people in a Dayton neighborhood say they are scared. They are feeling afraid after some vehicles there caught fire in the span of 72 hours. At least 5 cars have caught on fire in the area of Bridge Street and Lexington Avenue. We first reported these fires last Wednesday. You may remember that story. And we're still working to learn if more vehicles were targeted over this past weekend. And Dayton Fire has actually made some comments about the investigation. They have said that they are moving forward and investigating all of these fires as arson. So we will keep you updated as we learn more about this detail. We are switching gears to weather now. Let's take a look at what is going on.
So right now we're going to take a look at something that happened yesterday in Centerville. People gathered for a holiday tree lighting, and it was presented by Dayton's Children's Hospital. There were performances from the Miami Valley Dance Academy, Fairy Godmother events, and more. And this all happened at Benham's Grove Event Center. So look at that. Look at her dancing. Beautiful.
I love tree lightings and stuff.
We are
like
getting
this.
in the Christmas spirit, people.
And it is almost starting to feel like Christmas, depending on the day. Sometimes it's like not too bad, and then sometimes I generally, Cameron, feel like Christmas is tomorrow. That's how cold it can be sometimes.
Yeah, I live in Centerville, and I was driving past a beautiful tree. Can't wait to go and visit it in person when I'm able to. Obviously, I was working last night, so wasn't able to attend that. But the weather here, it's going to turn like winter here shortly as we go into the second half of the week. Though early into the week outside, it is very warm. We're going to see temperatures even close to 60 degrees as we go through the daytime tomorrow. Outside right now, you can see that it is a very cloudy one. We're starting to see those clouds really push in here at the 11 a.m. hour. So we're going to continue to see these clouds build and will become mostly cloudy in the next couple of hours. Temperatures right now, 42 in Troy, 46 in Dayton, 49 in Springboro. Up north, a little bit cooler, 43 in Wapakoneta and 42 Troy. Live Doppler 2 HD. We're not going to see any rain as we go through the daytime, but as we go into the nighttime, we are tracking the chance of rain as we go overnight. And as we go through the next couple of days, we are going to see those chances of rain increase. And as we get into the overnight hours tonight and into the morning tomorrow, could see some remaining showers Wednesday in the morning hours, but we are tracking a big cool down in time for Thanksgiving. Coming up on the Complete Storm Team 2 forecast.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Cameron. Alrighty, well, Dayton police are seeing a trend in stolen cars in the city with the colder temperatures, if you can believe that. From November 1st to the 15th, they reported 93 cars were reported stolen.
Wow.
And I know around 20% of them had been left running or had the keys inside. And that's probably why they are starting to tell us this information now, because I know when I get up in the morning, I can see maybe count 2 or 3 cars at least with no one in them but are just on. And we know that's because people are trying to warm up before they get on the road, but that's not
Hopefully they're locked.
Yeah,
though.
but obviously not. And that's what police are warning you against. You know, we know from November of 2024 through February of 2025, officers responded to 520 reports of stolen cars.
Wow.
So police reminding you to keep your keys with you, lock your car, and never leave it running while it's unattended. Just be cold for a few minutes. It's never worth it.
Okay. Well, moving from the roads to the airways. So, Alexis, let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
Do you say thank you to your flight attendants?
I do. I always try to be courteous.
Okay. For those of you at home, if you're not saying thank you, you need to start. So the U.S. Department of Transportation is launching what it's calling a civility campaign to promote good behavior on flights and at airports as the holiday travel season gets started. It's naming the campaign "The Golden Age of Travel Starts With You." I like that name.
Yeah.
It does start with you. So they rolled out a short video that asks a couple questions about, are you dressing with respect at the airport? And are you saying thank you to your flight attendants and pilots? So make sure that you have courtesy as you're traveling through the airports this holiday season.
So that actually brings us this holiday season, Kayla. It's a great segue into the next part of this. I react to that question for this morning. Speaking of the holidays, closer, Thanksgiving just a few days away. How do you guys feel about trying new recipes or new foods out during Thanksgiving dinner?
I'm not opposed to this, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I
Why?
don't think, let me give you why.
Sure.
So I think that it's okay to bring a new dish. You want to try a new dish? Sure, bring it out. What I don't think is appropriate is to be messing with the recipes.
Okay.
If we all like the mac and cheese
way it
recipe,
is, yeah.
let's leave the mac and cheese the way it is. Let's not start adding things. Let's not start doing a new twist, trying oat milk and gluten-free cheese and different
Something like
stuff.
that.
You know what I mean? Like, if we like
That
it the way
sounded
it
really
is,
personal, Kayla.
you know, let's just keep it the way it is.
Okay, so we know how Kayla feels, but we want to hear from you guys now. Don't forget to scan that QR code, weigh in. Should those new recipes be on the Thanksgiving table? Alrighty, your time now is 11:09. We're going to switch gears and look a little bit ahead to what is coming up in the days ahead. Circling back to a top story we just talked about a few minutes ago, a little bit under an hour ago, the high schools here in Ohio made the decision to allow their athletes to make money on their name, image, and likeness, something that had previously been prohibited. Now, we know this was an issue, and it started last month when a mother of a Wayne High School football star actually filed a lawsuit to allow her son to receive those payments. And now this decision has been made. To tell us a little bit more about what that will look like is 2 News reporter Evan Bales. Evan, good morning. You're going to be covering this today. What was this decision expected today?
Good morning. I think to a degree, this decision was absolutely expected by the OHSAA, especially because this referendum that we just heard from was an emergency referendum, and that was coming in the wake of that lawsuit where Mr. Brown's mother essentially sued the OHSAA for $100,000 for essentially missed opportunities for endorsements and other compensation that he could have received, but because of that bylaw, he didn't. Now, it was clear that they held this referendum to try and get ahead of the Ohio courts, where if they made the change to these guidelines on their own, then they'd have a little bit more control on how this whole system worked. Whereas if the vote hadn't have gone through, if the courts had ruled in favor of Jameer Brown in this lawsuit, then the courts would have overturned that vote, and they would have been back essentially where we are now with less control of how all of this would have panned out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Evan, can you tell us, and do you know how the schools voted overwhelmingly? Were they overwhelmingly in favor of this or not? And if we don't know that yet, are you talking to anyone today who could give you that information?
We do know for the most part that the schools did vote pretty overwhelmingly on this.
Yeah.
One thing that is interesting is that around 300 schools in Ohio did abstain from the vote. So that was an interesting statistic there. But for the most part, we don't know how the schools voted. I don't believe that'll be ever disclosed to us. I am trying to reach out to Jameer Brown's high school, Wayne High School. I am trying to see how they voted, if they'd be willing to share that, and any statements for them. I am trying to speak to him and his family as well about their reaction to this, and also just general reaction from folks here in the Miami Valley, especially with this issue being rooted, so close to the Dayton area. Just how are they feeling about this?
Right. And that is something that I was going to ask you next really quickly, Evan, if you can say what is expected to happen immediately next as far as steps moving forward.
So, I mean, for the most part, this rule is in effect right now. So I know that the OHSAA, they have essentially, they brought on a firm that will be able to handle these NIL issues from this point out. So essentially now brands can come to these students and say, we'd like to offer you X amount of money for social media appearances, endorsements, any sort of stuff like that you'd imagine pro players doing. These high schoolers can now do
as well. Right.
It is important to remember that they are not being paid to play the sport, but instead for these endorsements and appearances.
That is a good distinction to make, Evan. Thank you so much for that update this morning. All right, moving on. We know that the reward has grown substantially for information in connection to the death of a 5-year-old girl. Now, the restaurant chain Prime Barbecue Smokehouse is adding $2,000 to a $10,000 reward being offered by Crime Stoppers. Now, Legacy Taylor was shot and killed on Nicholas Road back on October 10th while she was still strapped into her car seat. Her father was also shot while inside the car and did survive. Police want anyone with information to contact them or Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP. On the other side of the break, we are going to have another look at weather, and we are continuing that countdown to the Olympics. And we're getting closer to the holidays. Everyone's favorite Thanksgiving mile or race is coming up. We're going to hear from one participant about how this will look different. Don't go away.
2 News Now, brought to you by Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, I'm Dan, the owner of Universal Windows Direct of Dayton. This is Bowie. He's been sniffing out the coolest winter deals for you. For a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Get $250 off for patio doors and entry doors, $1,500 off for roofing, and $2,000 off for siding. Plus this week, 24 months interest-free financing for all products. Keep the cold out and the savings in. Give us a call now.
Universal Windows Direct.
And we're back now, turning to our coverage to the countdown of the 2026 Winter Olympics. You guys, we are getting closer and closer. Take a look. I know. Look at this beautiful scene. We are now 74 days away. We have 74 days to go until that torch in Milan will be lit. We know that's on February 6th and will stay lit until February 22nd. We've been talking about the games all month long, essentially. We know that more than a dozen athletes have actually already qualified, and we're looking to have a little closer to almost 300, I believe, qualify. So we've got plenty of time to go, plenty of stuff to look forward to. And, of course, we know that when the games finally do kick off, you can watch them right here on the WDTN when they begin on next year, February 6th. So don't forget that. Countdown is on.
Yep. But before we get to the Olympics, we have to get to Thanksgiving, which we're very excited about.
Literally.
And you will probably be seeing more cars on the road starting today as people begin traveling for Thanksgiving. AAA is predicting a record number of Americans will travel more than 50 miles from home this year to get to wherever their destination is. Days and times to avoid are Tuesday, the 25th from 4 to 7. Also Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, will have the heaviest traffic in the afternoon. The best day to travel is actually on Thanksgiving itself. And of course, a lot of people are coming back on Monday, December 1st. So just make sure that you are aware of that.
Planning ahead, especially with the weather, because we know rain, good weather, anything can impact how fast we get to places.
Yeah, it is going to be a rainy one here as we go through the next about 24 to 30 hours or so. We're going to start to see that rain move in as we go into the nighttime tonight. But outside, you can see the clouds are starting to surge on in here. And if you are going to be headed out here in the next couple of days, tomorrow is going to be the rainy day, and then we dry out on Wednesday. It's just going to get cold there as we head into the midweek. Outside right now in the Trotwood Goodwill Auto Auction camera, it's a little bit breezy, but we are starting to see the higher clouds really take over. Dog walking forecast going to be good as we go through the daytime. Temperatures are going to be similar to what we had yesterday, about 55 degrees there as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. We'll continue to see the clouds build as we go into the afternoon as well. Up north, about 53, 54, even 52 in just parts of the northern Miami Valley. Springfield at 52, 54 Greenville. Getting further south, 55 here, Dayton, 53 Xenia, and 54 in Oxford. Live Doppler 2 HD. Nothing to track here going through the daytime. It's going to be a dry one. It's a great way to get outside and enjoy the great weather because we're going to see temperatures about cut in half here as we go into Thanksgiving. As you can see, it is going to be a rainy one as we go into the next 24 hours because a low pressure near the middle of the country, the Great Plains, are starting to move to the northeast. That's why we're seeing these clouds increase going into the morning hours here. High pressure is starting to move out. We had that sunshine over the weekend thanks to that high pressure. Temperatures right now, 45 in Wapakoneta, 44 in Troy, 46 Dayton, 49 in Springboro. As we go through the daytime, you can see those clouds continuing as we go into the afternoon, evening hours as well. Overnight, by about midnight, we start to see those chances of rain moving on in. They are going to be light early on, and then we'll see the chance of moderate showers as we wake up tomorrow. So if you have to drive to work tomorrow, or if you're heading out to get to wherever you need to be for Thanksgiving, could see those showers in the morning, so have your rain gear handy tomorrow. And then as we go into the afternoon, becoming more isolated in nature. Could see a shower or two Wednesday in the morning, but then we dry on out. We'll still see some cloud cover out there and cooler temperatures as we go through the daytime. Today, getting up to 55, partly to mostly cloudy and nice and on the warmer side. 45 here tonight. We'll have showers at about midnight and after 58 tomorrow with those showers likely. 7-day forecast, we are going to see those temperatures fall off. 35 as we get into your Thanksgiving day. And then over the weekend, we could even see the chance of rain and snow. And at 4, I'm going to have a story about how the chances of snow into the northern portions of the Midwest could impact your travel if you are headed up there. That's coming up later on.
Oh, well, we're excited to hear more about that, especially.
The sunlight.
We're excited to hear about Cameron's story.
Oh,
I don't know if we're necessarily excited to hear about
Not about the 30s. Not about the 30s.
Yes, we are.
No. Okay. Well, if you are traveling to Columbus, this is a story for you. I know we've talked about Columbus a little bit today. So commuters near Columbus experienced delays last Thursday after a dump truck with its bed up hit 2 overhead signs on I-70.
Nice.
Did you catch that? Did you see that? This video was released by ODOT. It shows the dump truck. It came to a stop after it hit the 2 pieces of overhead signs. And look, we're about to play it again so you can see.
Look.
Watch.
It just comes.
And then it hits it, and then
my
boom.
Gosh, they
good.
swerved
That,
to hit
yeah,
that.
it was good that car swerves out the way to make sure.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no one was hurt because that car swerved out the way. But
Thankfully. All right. Keep an eye on the road, you guys. Now, moving forward on Thanksgiving, on that note, one of the best things about Thanksgiving meals, as we all know, is the leftovers. That's fine. Now, Heinz is selling a new condiment to make those leftovers last longer. The leftover gravy kit comes with a jar of Heinz turkey gravy and a squeezable bottle of gravy. Yum. It also has a recipe card for the ultimate Thanksgiving leftovers sandwich. The kit costs just under $2 and already sold out. But Heinz says it plans to restock. Kayla, when they do restock, are you gonna grab that for your?
I don't think so.
I don't
you
think
know,
so
I'm
either.
happy for the people who
Me too,
are big
sure.
gravy fans, but I don't
I'm
really
not.
use it for that much.
Me neither.
So
But before we can get to talking about the things that we want to put gravy on, we have to look forward to some of the festivities that surround the big holiday itself.
Yeah.
So this morning, we're joined by Denny Bennett. Denny, good morning.
Good
He's been running the
Morning, girls.
Ohio River Road Runners Club Turkey Trot. That's almost a tongue twister there.
It is.
For the last several decades, we're coming up on race number or run number 40.
47.
So
Whoa.
he's been doing it for so long. He's competing this year, but it will look a little bit different this year, won't it? And he's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is the Turkey Trot's 47th year. My wife and I have done it at least 40 times. It's a 5-miler, and it starts Thursday morning at 8:30, Thanksgiving. And like Cameron said, it's going to be a little chilly, so dress warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be there, but you won't be by yourself because you are competing this year a little bit differently than you have in years past, if that's right.
Well, yeah, I've got all of my family, my son, 2 daughters, 3 grandkids will all be doing it. It's kind of a family thing. Like I said, Carol and I have done it for 40 years.
Which is incredible.
Which is incredible, and it's just a family thing to do. And about 8,300 people also think that. So we have about 8,300 people already registered, and it's not too late to register. You can come down to the Baum Opera House in Miamisburg and register from 11 to 6 on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving.
Denny, this is awesome. So you've done this for so many years. What keeps you going back every year? Is it just the fact that, hey, I get to do some exercise before I eat all this food later today? Or what is it that keeps you coming back?
Well, it like I said, it's a family tradition. My wife and I were the race directors for 9 years. We grew the Turkey Trot from 2,000 people to 11,000 people.
Wow.
And this year, like I said, we already have 8,300 people signed up. So it is I guess it's in our blood.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
To say the least. Denny, thank you so much for being on and telling us about the race this year. I can't wait to see you guys out there. Stay warm.
Oh,
Yes,
Please stay warm.
please
sure
do.
try. Thank you,
Yeah,
Alexis.
bundle up. All righty. On the other side of the break, as always, we are looking ahead to what's coming up in Living Dayton and hearing from you guys. Is anything new going to be on the table this year? Tell me about it. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. My favorite time of the morning, listening to you guys. Is it a safe space? Is Thanksgiving a safe space for new recipes on the table? Let's hear what you guys have to say. So we know that Kathy says only if it's a dessert. Oh, that's a little
Yum.
tricky. Well, because if it's a dessert, I'm going to be even more upset if it's not great.
No, but you can try it out, you know.
You can? Okay.
We'll
sure,
have the
Kathy.
apple there. We'll have the sweet potato
Yeah.
there. You
Okay.
can
So
bring
maybe that is a safe one.
something new.
So Kim says, depends on what it's for. That's what I'm thinking. It needs to be, I need to know, is it an appetizer, not a dessert, maybe a side dish?
Maybe not a main dish,
Yeah.
you know.
Pete says, not in this economy. Okay, I'm with Pete. We have things are too
Pete
expensive
said
to
we
be
are
trying
keeping
things out for the
things
first
the
time.
way they're
I know
supposed to
that's
be.
right. Now, speaking of trying new things on the table, we're looking ahead to what's coming up in Living Dayton. Emily is here to break that down. Emily, someone's in the kitchen who could help us bring a new dish to the table if we wanted to.
Yes, that's right. Minko Meadows is in the kitchen today, the LD kitchen, making some Thanksgiving recipes. So very excited for that. Maybe a new one that you can add at your dinner table.
Okay,
Very
looking
nice.
forward to that. And we cannot forget about the academics just because it's the holiday season.
Yes, that's right. We're highlighting our Teacher of the Month with River Valley Credit Union. So very excited to see who that teacher is. A big congratulations
Exciting.
to them as well.
We always love that part of the year when we can look forward to the Teacher of the Year, and thank you so much to look forward to. Thank you, Emily. And Kayla
Absolutely.
Ferris, thank you for joining me this morning. I'm Alexis
Anytime.
Bellamy for 2 News. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Kayla and I. Have a good rest of your day.